Hello, everyone. I am Raymond Sharp. This is my lovely wife,
Tanesha Sharp.
and we're here to jump in. We're going to continue on our series of going back to school.
Yes.
It's important to go back to school to learn, to sharpen, to refocus. And again, we're not just talking about our personal degree seeking process.
Yeah.
We as individuals, we need to go back to school to reevaluate ourselves, learn, grow, so we can help others, as well as, taking ourselves to the next level.
Yes. So in the last video, we talked mostly about relationships and how we have to go back to school as far as evolving and not being the same person that we were. So if you missed that video, go back and watch that one. But in this video, we're going to come from an entrepreneur perspective. And in that, you have to make some hard decisions on the different moves you have to take to get mentorship and to sometimes, sometimes when you reach a certain point in your business, you have to take a step back so you can grow and learn more. And so in that, it may require you to scale back on your business, or it may require you to do some things that other people don't understand. And they're like, why are you doing that? Why are you, and you have to make different moves, and you have to know what's best for you and your business, but not to just be where you are, but like, how do I get to the next level? And in that, we found that we've had to make some hard decisions, and decisions that most people would never, still probably don't understand, but we definitely see the benefits now. Yeah. And so don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of how people are going to look at you, what people are going to think, because at the end of the day, your sole purpose is to grow in business. You want to perfect the area that you serve in. You want to be the best in it. You want to be the go-to person for that industry. And so we found that we had to make hard choices in doing that.
Yeah. One of the hard choices I had to make was, I would say, leaving my stable full-time employment at the time. And I think it was good for various reasons, but it was very, very difficult for me to do that because I worked in education, and I absolutely loved my students. That was one of the most difficult. Well, it was easy in one regard, but it was hard because I used to tell parents every year that, hey, I'm going to see you in 4 years, when it's time for the child to graduate from college. And I used to go to all the graduations because part of my responsibilities, I work heavily with orientation. I work heavily with like student parent engagement, and in that regard,
student leadership.
Yeah, student leadership. And I remember getting to the point where like I need to stop telling parents this because I didn't want to lie to them and say, I'm gonna see you in 4 years, and I'm like,
because your time was.
Yeah, I feel like, man, it may be time for me to start looking at some different things. So I stopped telling parents that, but that was one of the hardest things for me. But even in leaving, my mom, I'm gonna mention this now because it's gonna come back up later. My mom was like, oh, babe, are you sure that's a good job? I was like, Mom, I'm sure this is what I feel led to do. And I had started while I was, transitioning. I just didn't stop one thing and jump to something else. Yeah. It was in transition. I was working on, this business while I was still yet doing my full-time job.
Oh, yeah, for years.
Yeah. So it wasn't.
You were doing both for years.
Yeah. I don't advise anybody to just start something brand new and stop their breadwinning situation.
No, this is not what we're trying to say.
No, not at all. So I encourage I know sometimes people want it to happen fast, but you got to be smart. You got to be strategic, and I had to be really led and say, okay, this is the time for this.
Yes.
It's all about
the timing.
Me, the timing. Timing is everything. So I thought that I was leaving, my job, my state job, to pursue business, but really it was to be a support to people that was close to me. There were some needs that my family had that, at the time I was being so busy, I didn't see. There were some things that, I feel like, at that time, the church that that we are attending, even to this day, that, I feel like I was able to be a blessing to the leadership there because, I was able to kind of like restructure and be, flexible with my schedule. And even there's some things within me that I discovered because when you work at a certain place for so long, you kind of adopt certain mindsets, and it's like, okay, I feel like I need to do something different. And when I put myself in a different environment, it's like, okay, what's good for this environment? What's good for me now? So I was able to grow. So again, I had to go back to school and like relearn myself and my motivations. And I thank God for my wife. She was very helpful with me in that transition. So even within that, started a business, started my own real estate firm. And then I want to say roughly 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years
after I started that firm. I had opportunity to go to a different firm, and the reason it was challenging because I had worked so hard on my firm, but I feel like, man, I need to go to another level.
Yes, it was more.
It was more.
Yes.
I was doing well for a season, but then I started not to do well. I'm like, man, I can be doing better than this, but I feel like, but not doing what I'm doing now. I need to be doing something else. Opportunity presented to myself, and I closed my firm. And that came with one of the first people, my mom. Are you sure about this? Now, come on now. Now, this was going
so
good.
Sweet.
She meant
She's
well.
So
she really meant well. She was like, oh, this is a big, you got your own business. You do, this is awesome. I'm like, Mama, I feel she meant well, but she was like, hey, I said, Mama, just trust the decision I'm making. I feel like this is the right thing to do. And now it's been 5 years since that decision, and I can say that I made the right decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
Some of the things that I wanted to learn, I need to learn beyond what I wanted. So in the first video, I mentioned that sometimes we set goals for ourselves, and we say, okay, this is a good goal, but really the goal that you really need to have is even well beyond that goal. But it's a process of discovery, and we have to be willing to take ourselves on that. And sometimes it requires making difficult decisions. You have to be committed. You have to be disciplined. You have to do things when everybody else is telling you or doubting, why are you doing that? And I'm at the place in my life now where I'm fine with having to make a difficult decision because I see the other side. Even though I don't know how everything's going to fully transpire, I just believe that first and foremost, just following the voice and leading of God made a tremendous impact on that, because to me it's everything to us is a faith walk. We trust God, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that's been presented myself in this new endeavor, which is not new, but it's still 5 years ago we started. It's different, but I'm grateful even for that opportunity, and I'm thankful that I did decide to say, okay, you know what, let's shut that down and just move on to something else. So it's been a blessing.
That's a hard thing, only because when you have people that won't understand.
Yeah.
People are looking at it like, well, what did you do wrong?
Yeah. And
what happened? Did you lose your company?
Have no idea.
Like, no.
Some people are like, so what happened? I'm like, I just decided to move. So nothing happened? I'm like, yeah. They're like, really?
And so you have to take that.
Yeah.
Like, that comes with it. That comes with making hard decisions, because people are going to have their opinions. They're going to say stuff. There might be rumors. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we heard some stuff. We just started laughing like, man, it's okay.
And it's okay. We had to just, we knew that this was so much bigger, and it's so much bigger than us.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, how can you, our heart is to help people. So how can we help people with just limited, our own, being at a certain level when there's so much, there's another higher level, and we can help even more people and make a greater impact as we grow.
Yeah.
And, but it's never our desire to just stay. As we've shared in previous videos, we're always going to be a student.
Yeah.
You should never get to a place where you're like, oh yeah, I know everything and I'm good. Never. I mean, there's always more. There's always, and as the world's changing, within itself, it's like, how can you just sit there and just say, I'm done? So I want to encourage those who feel like, look, we're not necessarily telling you to go back to school, but we're telling you to maybe get mentorship, maybe do certain things that will position you. Go to conferences. Please go to whatever, whether they're virtual, in person, meet new people. It'll just help you grow, and never be satisfied with where you are.
Absolutely.
Never be satisfied with where you are.
Absolutely.
Because there's always more.
I feel like one of the things that's helped me, and I had to, we gotta let go of pride. When I say you gotta let go of pride is stopping so much forward movement for so many people. Yeah. And I just got to the point where, like, I don't need to be the most knowledgeable and smartest person in any room.
No.
I need to be around people that's going to challenge me to go to the next level. I need to be around people that's going to challenge the thought, like, man, that's good, but what's beyond that? It's like, man, I haven't thought that far. And it's like, sometimes we think we have a good plan.
I love those conversations.
Yeah, we think we have a good plan, and really our plan is okay. It's not even good. We think it's good because, because nobody wants to think, I had this thought and it's okay. You know what I mean? But we all need to say, get to a place where Someone's going to challenge our thinking to go beyond what we can understand. You got to get with people that's talking on a level that you don't understand, because it's going to force you to study. It's going to force you to grow. It's going to force you to ask questions, because you don't want to be a part of the conversation. So you need to get a level of understanding. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, can you explain that to me?
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, people love to help. They really do.
Yes, they do.
And all you have to do is just ask a question. And most people be willing to help that,
And be quiet.
And but when you in those situations, just ask the question and don't try to prove what you know.
Yes.
Just be quiet. Even if when they first start talking, like, okay, I know that. If you actually, sometimes I'm in conversation, I listen to people talking, say, and I'm thinking, yep, I know that concept. I know that process. I know that. And then like the fourth thing they say is like, boom, here we go.
Just wait for it.
Just wait for it. Don't say, well, I know that already. Okay, yeah, I know that too. And by the time you get to that third one, right before they get to the good stuff, they have disengaged you from the conversation, and then you still don't know what you need to know. So you have to be very, very careful with that.
That's good. Yeah, that's very good. But yeah. So this is not to make you feel bad at all.
No.
This is just to challenge you, because, we're all about jumping in and staying in. And but in that, you have to make some tough decisions.
Yeah, and whatever that tough decision is for you, just make sure you're not doing it out of pride. Don't do it out of compulsion, because a lot of these decisions, like the thought came, and I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah,
I wanted to be sure.
So we waited.
We waited, and then
Prayed about it.
Yeah, we definitely prayed about it, and we seek counsel from those that mentor us. And I will tell you that when it was time, it was peace. Yes. It was confirmation. But at the same time, it was like, whew, here we go.
Here we go again.
But, and getting used to just making the necessary, I'm not going to say hard decisions, really.
Other people would view it as
it's hard. Yeah,
yeah.
But it's a necessary decision. Once you do it and get used to doing it, it gets easier and easier to say, okay, we got to shift right here. And that even, we do it with business. We've done it with our children. We've done it in so many different areas. We've done it with each other. It's like, hey, look, all right, we got to talk about something. And you're not going to like this is going to seem to a curveball coming out of left field, but hey, this is what it is. And we work through it. So be willing to do that. Be willing to work through it. Be willing to commit to yourself. And that's one thing we have to learn how to do, is to take care of ourselves. Take time, especially as we get older. We take care of so many people. We take care of our kids. Some of y'all take care of your parents. Some of y'all are, very in high demand in what you do for your jobs. So make sure you're taking some time for yourself. Take a vacation from time to time, get away, clear your mind, but don't wait a long time to do that. This is where we're going to pick up in part 3.
Yeah. So
going back to school, we're going to talk about, join us for part 3. We're going to talk about taking care of yourself more in depth.
Yes.
So on behalf of my wife and I,
until next time,
we want you to what?
Jump in.
Y'all take care.
All right. See you soon.